November 16th, 2024. Okay. Well, it's got a lot better. My car's fucked from the FBI case, and these people hacked it. So, and they sold it. So the last couple of tapes of going through how awful FBI agent John was on the phone to me. That he confessed, he does realize on a recorded line he confessed he was aiding and abetting conspiracy and attempted murder. And he was aiding and abetting racketeering and a drug scam from a pimp. And that he was obstructing justice, tampering with witnesses and evidence. You do realize that what he confessed. And he told on a victim calling for help. Okay. You do realize how dangerous Michelle and Pete are. They're human traffickers. I didn't know about Michelle. Oh God, January or February 19. When John's kids in the basement on Thanksgiving 18 said the house wasn't meant for Grandma, it was meant for Auntie Shell and Pebble. Well, I thought it was Michelle Cowgill. And she was so mean to her first husband, I thought that would serve him right. Well, January, February 19, I started at Faith Family Church. This young blonde girl showed up with a group of people. Well, they were calling her Michelle. And I turn around and I look at her. And she's like, I'm dating her husband. I'm the one dating Dave. And she said, I can have anyone drug beaten raped. I just have to ask those guys. Well, she's a prostitute in the drug cartel. She gets around. Oh, and where she's saying she's getting my informant money that John stole for her and Lauren. He's dating him. If that's what they want to call prostitution. I've heard of prostitutes calling their John's dates. Because she's paying other men are paying her to date her. Because it's just dating. Yeah, okay. You do realize other men pay her to date her too. She's a prostitute. Sheriff David Mike DeWine's cousin said Pete had to rape her as a child to make her this evil. If you look up psychopaths and sadists that enjoy inflicting pain on other people, it's them. The Florida human traffickers were following me around and they're laughing at me how they're harming me. So I went to church and prayed all the time. You want to follow me, you have to go to church. But they ended up in church. And they were selling the log in the case there. So why the usher yelled at him for torturing me in front of over 1,000 people. They sold videos of it. July to September 19, midnight to 3. The one guy raping me told everybody it was FBI. He's drug cartel. My one friend, I asked him, I said, do you remember the big truck guys that told everybody they were FBI work monkeys? Yes. I said, that was drug cartel. He's like, Karen, that's fucked up. I seen him. I was in, see, when that case first started, she told everyone she was Agent Will's daughter. Then she was retired Judge Pete's daughter. This spring, when I went to Faith Family Church, I went to use the bathroom, waiting in line, and women are, don't say a word to her. That girl that was here had all those things done to her. We found out she was no retired judge's daughter. No, she's a scam artist and a prostitute. She's a human trafficker. She sells women and children for sex slaves and to be murdered. That's what Pete does too. You know, these people were blaming the police up there. I went to the Ravenna police and I emailed them everything that I could think of, you know, from the case. The chief of police called me back. Miss Hall, it was none of our officers in your home. I questioned all my officers, and they didn't have any part of it. I went to the Portage County Sheriff's, met with a sheriff in a room. He said, Miss Hall, I'll let you know, it was none of our officers in your home, nor did we have knowledge of someone being in your home or anyone else's home outside a protective light case. I said, with statements, yes, that would be illegal. And I said, police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements. Yes, they have to have a court order. And I said, well, they've admitted they were taping in the bathroom. That's illegal. I said they're supposed to put a shower scene in the other room and me washing and photoshopped it to make me look weird. They're breaking the stores. He said that's illegal. I said they're lying that they have fake sodium pentothal reports. I said I was bruised, I was throwing up, I was almost passing out, and I have bruises I couldn't explain to a severe personal infection. And they were saying they drugged me and told me to say weirdo stuff. That's illegal. Everything these people have said they did is illegal. And it was none of us. So, where you want to say the Portage County Sheriffs were part of this, they've been wanting the drug connections to law enforcement up there. Give me the first and last name of whatever officer was in it with the drug cartel, running drug scams on people, drugging them up and telling them to say something stupid, beat them, rape them, human trafficking, selling kiddie porn. Give me a name. You'll make me a millionaire. Police abuse attorneys work on commission, and you got proof that one of their cops were in it with the cartel, running racketeering schemes, fraud schemes on people. You'll make me a millionaire. Give me a name. See, my ex-husband, after they had that guy threaten to knife me at Giant Eagle, and then the What a Shame guy showed up at Walmart, he told me to come to the end of the driveway. My girlfriend's rich and powerful. Her family owns the police. Nobody owns the police. Okay? You will not be able to withstand. I looked right at him and I said, it's not a communist country. No one owns the police. So I took a couple days and I prayed. I called the FBI hotline. Okay? Now, I've never caught my ex-husband with any woman. Never. That Michelle is so morbid and so deranged. She told people, now this scenario would never happen, but I want you to think of her mental delusions of making crap like this up. Okay. I didn't even know about her till she showed up at Faith Family Church. Didn't even know about her. Okay? She told people that I caught her and Dave together. What would you do if you caught your husband with a mistress? You'd yell, scream, run out of the room, maybe hit somebody, overreact, right? Normal responses. Would you ever grab yourself and start playing with yourself? No. She told people that happened. It never happened. I didn't even know about it. A couple weeks ago, I was up in Hartville, and I had said that, I think in a taper in the car, I got out, and one of my clients, I opened the back door. Some guy's like, I've been listening to this. She didn't know about that girl till 19. That is what's going on. No, I didn't know anything about her. I didn't know anything about her. She's just morbid. She's psychotic. So is that Pete. But they're human traffickers. They sell people. They don't have natural compensation. Alright. Last year, the end of the year, December of 23 or beginning of January of 24, we had really cold days. Okay? Extremely. My car was acting up, and I pulled over in the store and having a guy check my battery. He said, did you know about the human traffickers that were here? I'm like, yeah, I know about them. He said, did you ever see a guy about our age, 50s, tall, thin, built, white, whitish blonde hair, clean cut, expensive dress shirts, sleeves rolled up, and expensive dress pants? I'm like, yes. He grabs his chest. You've seen him in your life several times. You don't know who it is, who it was. I'm like, so? He said, you've seen him in your life. I said, yeah. I'm thinking I'm going to have to call 911. I kept saying, are you okay? He said, that was the Russian drug lord that was selling people in this area. A bunch of police got together where they were grabbing all those people. They were selling them out of hotels. And they raided it and got arrested those people. He said one of the human traffickers was a young girl with a baby. And I want that baby to grow up in foster care. He said, so I adopted her. It's like, that's really nice of you. Well, could you imagine the stigma that your mother is a serial killer and a child molester that was selling human beings for sex slaves and to be murdered? See, when you actually think what Pete and Michelle are, they're the people that are in scary movies. Real life. I even told that guy I thought it was M13, and he said, "Oh, they may have been helping him," but that was that Russian drug lord. All these men started walking around me. He's like, "I gotta get back in the store." I thought, I hope they're cops. If not, you're in trouble. He even told me that the Russians men would come in there and be horrible to him. Well, I've seen some of the riffraff. The people laugh at me for getting hurt. Part of Michelle's groupies up there. I don't see him there anymore. Big truck guys were up there, part of the human traffickers. Mm-hmm. Even those old guys that were breaking, they were selling people running the scam. I don't see them there either. Marshall showed up last year. There was, 130, 160 arrests last September out of Summit County alone. They did the 800 people sweep right after I met with my friend out in Worcester. Had a friend on the police department in this area, 2.5 hours away. Know about that case that agent opened with me. Know about the Texas group. Yeah, well, they're sitting there. He's saying all this stuff to me, and I'm responding. Then he drills me until I'm stuttering. How the police are going to use my case to get these drug traders, human trafficking people. You have so much hurt and pain in your lives. And then he drills me after he tells me they found 35 people tied up in a railroad car. Those are human beings. African American people are taking, shooting, and throwing their bodies along railroad tracks. They're human beings. And if there was a retired judge in Texas involved in this, they went down to question him, he killed himself. There's another retired judge, and he says the state is involved in selling people. And then he drills me until I'm stuttering. The police are getting ready to take care of this. They're not releasing a lot of information. I walked outside. Men followed me where they had filled that restaurant, where the U.S. Marshals are going to be taking care of this. That agent actually left her there. Can you imagine? He left her there. And they were complaining about the shower scene in the other room. He said she's weird with herself. That's disgusting. That's why he left her there. It was probably them and not her. It was them and not me. That's why they made a public fool out of him. June 7th, 23, that he'd actually fall for the stunt on tapes before that were only a stunt. Me, the FBI agent John, fell for the stunt on tapes before. Katie's sister, Jody, and the cartel. Mocking him. It's old videos. Okay? So, 3 weeks later, February 14th, 23, the marshals and sheriffs did a 800 people sweep. April 8th, 23, up in Giant Eagle, 2 of the drug cartel truck guys show up. I go in, and they follow me. If we'll use your case to infiltrate our gang, you tell them, give her your money. We're out of here. 2 of the cops that watched me laughed in their face. We actually did. I hate being a monkey in the middle. Hated that game as a child. Found out the hard way what it is. Everybody beats on the monkey. Now, Michelle was seen with the Florida human traffickers. Also here in Louisville, were announced in May or June of 19, Giant Eagle parking lot. They were stealing for them. Got in the big trucks with them. Okay? She was with the Florida group. So she works for the Russian. The other one was Iraqi. For we all work for the king from Texas. We are his men. They have hired us. He's a drug lord. It's a fentanyl king. I looked him up. See, there's the real people. And when it comes to that Russian, is his name Michael? They talked about a Michael around me. It's just a question. If not, it's probably one of his men. Okay? Because I still don't know who Harry is. But I told you on January, it should be January 25th, 2019, after they show up and tell my ex-husband that the police already knew I was innocent before. And they were talking about it at the station. Some guy was bailing this guy out from a team offer to pay a fine or bail. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay? Well, then it should be later than that some guy said that he had paid 25 grand for me. He wanted me. Now, I am not racist. My brother Pete, his family is African American, Filipino, Caucasian, and they're beautiful. Good God, my one niece used to be a swimsuit model, and she's gorgeous. This guy said, Dave told me, she'd be scared to go with you, because you're African American. Your color of skin means nothing to me. The thought you bought me, I don't care what color you are. That scares the hell out of me. I was in my room crying with a gun laying next to me. And some other guy said, you can't have her yet. We're not done with her. I paid good money for her. Like they said, her ex-husband got caught in the middle of them trying to sell her. And I'll tell you what. People were talking about Harry around me. And people were talking about Harry till last year. My friend said on the news there was a African American human trafficker named Harry, and he's a killer. And they're all looking for him. That isn't the Harry from my case, is it? That's another good question. Because who the hell is Harry they all talk about? Are you crazy being mean to her? Do you know what Harry will do? Who the hell is Harry that the riffraff's scared of? They actually run like children. It's almost comical. See, even the U.S. Marshals heard the riffraff talk about Harry. I go in and I sit down with my friend, and all these men come and sit down around me, and they're not my usuals. There's a guy at the bar with another guy. He turns around and looks at me and said she's sitting over there with him instead of me. My friend said, who is that? I don't know. I don't know. I want to say he's riffraff. Ignore him. And he kept saying it. He's like, who is that guy? I said, I don't know. Well, this older couple comes in, and they turn around and say the same damn thing. He's like, who are those people? I'm like, I don't know. They go to walk out. We're going to tell Harry she was sitting with someone else. They heard him say Harry, too. Who the fuck is Harry? But they would look at these people. Someone, are you crazy being mean to her? She's one of Harry's girls. Who the hell is Harry? If you pull the case in 18 and 19, they will extort all kinds of money out of people. All kinds. Michelle is an extortionist, so is Pete. They're cartel. They're running scams. Even in the spring, one investigator had said, she ever moves away, we'll have to tell the local police the cartel's running scams on people. Just like Officer Mark said. None of this is funny. Lady said this last August on a Tuesday. About 1 o'clock, noon to 1. Did our ex-husband defend her? He said yes. We taped it. So did I. Did anybody ever talk to her? No. Then they had to frame her. He said it's been documented and verified she was framed before. She said, was it the drug cartel? He said, yes, we've seen him. So who's Pete and Michelle? What did the police say? It was documented and verified. I was framed before. And it was the drug cartel and they seen him. Now you start thinking about that agent. Backing a drug cartel, drug scam. Now, they try to blame the police up there. I went to the Ravenna police. Okay, emailed them. Chief of police called me back. It's none of our officers in your home before. I questioned all of them. Went to the Portage County Sheriff's. Met with one of them in a room. Miss Hall, I'll let you know it was none of our officers in your home. We weren't in your home or anybody else's home. Outside a protected light case, I said, with statements. Yes, that would be illegal. I said it's the Fourth Amendment. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements. They have to have a court order. Otherwise, it's illegal monitoring. It's a federal crime. And I told him, I said, well, they're supposed to tape all of us in the bathroom, using the bathroom. He said, that's illegal, ungodly illegal. I said, they're supposed to have a shower scene in the other room to make me look weird, Photoshop. That's illegal. I said, I never seen or talked to anyone before I called the FBI. I had bruises, throwing up, headache, dizzy, and a severe personal infection. And it kept happening and happening. And I lost a lot of weight. And I thought it was the dirty well water. And they're saying they had sodium pentothal reports. That's illegal. And that they were drugging me and telling me to say weirdo stuff. That's illegal. Everything these people said they did is illegal. And it was none of us. So, do you want to play Make Karen a Millionaire? Give me a dirty officer's name that's messed up in the drug cartel, drug beating, raping people, drugging them for fake confessions and photoshopping, washing in the cartel. That's aiding and abetting them. Give me a name. Police abuse attorneys work on commission. We'll play Make Me a Millionaire. Because I have documented proof that I had all the signs of being drugged, beaten, raped by a doctor. Want to give me a name? Took the Starr County Prosecutor's Office 30 seconds. It's a fraud scheme. They made the biggest mistake they did in your home's right to privacy. So, what is going on with FBI agent John? Making fun of me on a recorded line that some drug cartel pimp is running a scam on me and laughing how I didn't know. And he knew who was harming me and he didn't arrest him. You do realize on a recorded line, he confessed he was aiding and abetting conspiracy and attempted murder. That he was telling on victims calling for help. He was obstructing justice, tampering with witnesses and evidence. Aiding and abetting. All those crimes. Racketeering. Sextortion. Kidnapping, drugs. Attempted murder. Conspiracy to commit murder. Listen to the recorded line and then think about what he said. For someone, I told you, I called the FBI hotline. When Dave said, he made a weird comment of, my girlfriend's rich and powerful and her family owns a place. You won't be able to stand. It took a couple of days and I prayed and I called the FBI hotline. Next day, the phone's ringing. I can't wake up enough to answer it. I finally get up and I'm holding on the walls to the bathroom, to the refrigerator, got back in bed and listened to the voicemail. This is Agent Dada, called me back, I can't. And I fell back to sleep. Second day, not much better. Third day, I make myself get up. Got enough air in my face, called one of my witnesses I gave the hotline. Went out and bought a car, put that agent's number in it, dropped it off down at the mall. Her manager put it in her locker, went up to Apostolic Church of Barberton. He's up there telling on me. Paul Payne was yelling at Dave. My God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. I walk off and he's still screaming at him, how dare you bring the FBI up here with threats on her life. Women walk up. He knows she's being drugged, beaten, raped, and he said he didn't care. I'm covered in bruises. I lost 18 pounds. Severely in personal infection. Almost been passing out. My heart sinking into my stomach. Never seen her talk to anybody. Okay? Going to sit down, they follow me. He knows she's being drugged, beaten, raped, and he said he didn't care. Strangest lie of faking you were sick 15 years ago. Like investigators said, this whole thing's horrible. That family, using their tragedy, that's horrible. To get people to participate in this, that's horrible. And 6 months later, when that minister made up that lie on her, had nothing to do with him, and they're trying to twist it to help get people to help out in this, that's horrible. And with Strange ordering her death and destruction in 03 for thinking she was following Tim and Katie, where that guy was openly defying him to everyone. He probably had that guy killed. And they're trying to help them get away with murder with her. That's horrible, them. It's demonic. I put it that way. Now, while I'm in there, he he even told him he was going to turn me back over to him. If I was going to be mean to the women, then I thought, who the heck am I mean to? The riffraff had to tell me it was Katie. I hadn't talked to her in 7 years. Tim's girlfriend. Like they said, she was dating Tim, that's why she was willing to lie. Be mean to some. What are we in grade school? We're in grade school. Someone's crying, somebody's mean to him. There's no proof. And like the investigator said a year ago, last fall, I was in Target in Belgium. They came in. They said, "What was that agent thinking?" We looked it up. The only one that ever called her a faker was Strange. He was a minister, not a doctor. He wouldn't know what he's saying exactly. And his IQ was so low, you couldn't believe one thing coming out of his mouth. Exactly. He just needed to get rid of me real quick. My sister was following her husband and got caught. They thought it was me, and he made up that shitty lie and ordered my death and destruction, I found out. Nobody was to say or do a thing till Dave said he wanted a divorce, and it took him 15 years to say it. So if he just, because you got to think, this whole thing is outrageous. Now, I want to know why FBI agent John didn't arrest him by federal law. Because, after that, Dave came in, let's go, and he screams at me for calling the FBI on him. He ought to kill himself, and got me punched all the way home. Ran from it. Next day, I called that agent. So why didn't he arrest Dave for hiring a hitman to drug, beat, and rape his wife? It's illegal. It's a federal crime, hiring Pete. Illegal monitoring is a federal crime. Setting up button cameras is a federal crime. Taping people naked, selling them on porn sites. Selling kiddie porn. Like people even said, anybody puts their name on the tapes before, we all know they tape those kids going potty because they sold it. They'll all get listed child molesters. They are child molesters. So what was that agent supposed to do? Arrest everyone involved for harming people. But I tell him someone told on me the night before. You liar. I tell him about, I tell him about the guy that threatened to knife me at Giant Eagle. Calls me a liar. There's badgering laws, Department of Justice 1729. You have to take a witness, informant, or victim's statement and follow through, or it's badgering. It's obstruction to justice and tampering with evidence and witnesses. So is he allowed to call me a liar? No. I tell him about the guy that threatened to knife me at Giant Eagle, calls me a liar. Was there a camera above the bench when he heard his voice? I don't know. I almost passed out. I was already dizzy. I had lost 18 pounds from being drugged, beaten, raped all summer long, and I'm blaming the dirty warm water I'm showering in. I don't even remember being attacked, where they drugged me out and told me to say stuff. They've already confessed. They drugged me and told me to say it before. They drugged me and told me to say this, that, da, da, da. They photoshopped this, erased people out of the room, laugh at the FBI, laugh at everybody for falling for their drug scam. I hate crackheads. Playing with people like that is morbid and satanic. I tell him he tried to kidnap me before, and before I can say Terry Coverly seen him. He's like, oh, come on now. I've met with that family in my office and all those church people. And I know they're trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick and faking you got well. Well, that family was grieving. And 6 months later, and it was a medication error, like that guy said, that agent needed to get his facts straight. And medical malpractice almost killed me. And 6 months later, after a traffic accident I had nothing to do with, and they're using their family's tragedy to further their cult to kill people, to manipulate them. It is horrible of them. It's disgusting. I had nothing to do with them. And them wanting to reach over and get more attention. That's how pathetic they are. And morbid. Okay? So, where I told him he tried to kidnap me before I could say Terry Coverly, seen him. He said, oh, come on now, I've met with that family in my office, all these church people. And I know they're trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick and faking you got well with that family was grieving. What did he just say? He knew they were a conspiracy to commit murder and attempted murder. Did he arrest him? No. He was aiding and abetting it. I said I really was sick before. You liar. Start screaming about a camera above the bench. You don't know you say a lie and I'll arrest you. It's like, fine, whatever. Ha 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 ha. He let a serial killer go. I found out the guy's a serial killer. Then he said, I want you to say you were faking you were sick before. I had 6 to 10 surgeries in like 2.5 years. My muscles all locked up from the trauma. I went to a bunch of crackpots. Falsely diagnosed me, gave me the wrong meds. My body swelled. I even have an MRI report showing leg swelling and even a fluid-filled cyst forming beside my knee. My body finally absorbed it over time, but it was pretty big, and it would like bulge out from the side of my leg. I had to go in and have my knees drained every month from an orthopedic doctor, which prescribed the canes and braces because my feet were so swollen, I was swollen. Made my whole body swell, and because my heart doesn't pull enough blood, it put me into many heart attacks, and I was having seizures, and they were lying, I had brain tumors. They were ripping me off and almost killed me. If I would have sued them, I would have been a millionaire. If Strange wouldn't have pushed Danny to suicide, I would have. Okay? So, he said, I want you to say you were faking you were sick before. That's absurd. I almost died. All my family physicians told me how big of crackpots they are. And they were causing all that. It took me 9 months to get well, of pulling myself around stores, malls, streets. It took me 9 months. Working with Dr. Eli on pain medicine and muscle relaxers. But the only thing that's wrong with you is your muscles locked up. Well, I found out I actually do have heart problems. Okay? Alright. I said I really was sick before. He said, oh, come on now. I met with that family in my office. And all those church people. I know they're trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick and faking you got well. Well, that family was grieving. You need to realize what you've done, and I don't blame them for trying to kill you. He actually said that. He was aiding and abetting attempted murder and conspiracy to commit murder. A police officer on a recorded line. You do realize in that you had told on a victim calling for help. I said I really was sick before. You say it or I'll leave you there. They'll try to kill me, so. They've tried to kill me, so. Like occults can just kill people because the minister makes up a lie on them. That's absurd. That's absurd. He was to do his damn job, his sworn duty, and arrest him. Not make fun of a rape victim that a cartel is running a scam on and a cult's trying to kill him. Say it or I'll leave you there. It's like, fine, whatever. Why would the FBI help a person like you? Well, they're going to try to kill me. It's his sworn duty. I said they're going to try to kill me, so. They've tried to kill me, so. The other one yells out the pimp's name, the drug cartel name of the hired hitman, where my ex told people he hired Pete on his own. It was Pete and his men doing it. The human trafficker's name. And he didn't arrest him for harming people. Selling kiddie porn, a little kid's going by him. Exploiting children, he didn't arrest him. Or drug beating, raping anybody for any reason. Running a extortion scam, racketeering scam of drug confessions, fake sodium pentothal reports, and photoshopping and washing, I've heard of, in a drug scam. Huh? We could always use Pete's tape a word with herself. The shower scene in the other room they photoshopped. Made fun of FBI agent Johnny Fulbright. Publicly made a fool out of him. Laughed at everybody how they fooled them all into helping out. Repeatedly. That they made everything up on me. Photoshopped all their lives. Drugged me and told me to say it before. I got 2 witnesses on my phone. I'd be the church people breaking in before drugging me and telling me to say word on molester stuff. I never had those people in my home. I never had any of these people. Before I called FBI, I never even seen anybody. You want to talk about scary movie shit? The cartel wants people to think that they can be hired to illegal monitoring, sell them on porn sites, and have the drug cartel guys break in, drug them up, tell them to say something stupid, Photoshop like a shower scene, and they can steal everything they have in life. No, they can't. It's insane. He said something about Pete. Okay? I've never met him. The only Pete I know is my brother in Medina. I hadn't seen him in years. I thought, what on earth are you talking about? He said, well, I bet you're going to say you don't know anything about this doctor selling your information. HIPAA violations. Well, none of my doctors could talk to Dave Strange or the FBI without my permission. HIPAA violations, 1 to 5 years, $250,000 fine. That's where December 31st, 23. Altman Hospital, my God, nobody's to talk to these people. They had some guy impersonating a doctor from Altman Hospital selling information. The hospital gets sued. They could get shut down. There's laws, right to privacy laws. And their license, oh yeah, and then jail time. Okay? I've had the riffraff where he's so crazy. He told people that I was found insane. It takes a competency hearing in front of a judge. You have a right to an attorney, your own a doctor's opinion, and they have to argue it out. And that's where the judge finds you insane, sets up a guardian and a social worker. They said they thought that they could just pay a dirty doctor off to write it up. I would own them. My God, nobody's to talk to these people. They had someone impersonate a doctor from Altman Hospital selling people's information, and my God, nobody's going to ever back those doctors from before. They were all lying. So bad. They said she had brain tumors. The only thing that was wrong with her was her muscles locked up, and they caused it with medication errors. Cops walked by. All those doctors were lying before? Yes. It was a medicine making her sick. Okay. I hate riffraff. They're way too much energy. So he just made fun of me for the guy that Dave said he hired on his own to harm me. And he laughed at me for the drug scam he was running. Racketeering. He arrested him. I laughed at a victim. On a recorded line. Attached to my case. For its protected life cases with statements and a judge's order only. You have to have a court order. Police in Hartville told people not to say anything to me. That agent had told all the police he was just acting that way to get the drug dealers. They don't believe him anymore because he got so many drug dealers. He never paid me that they think he did it to steal in front of him. Yep. Someone needs to arrest him. Why would give me a real reason why the FBI should help you? I told him about my brother-in-law Craig, and he said, first of all, he died working for the government. And every person that died in any kind of law enforcement, I'll tell you what, that dirty agent disgraces every one of their names. Have you talked to any law enforcement about threats in your life? I said, well, August 8th of 18, I had 2 officers out of the 911 call. I had a light in the security system. I called them silly or stupid. That they said it looked like an alien orb or an angry spirit. You're kidding. I said, no, I thought they were dehydrated, so I offered them water. And then they told me buy a dog and let a dog handle it. They don't want bothered. Then he offers to take me somewhere and leave me with no money. Have no money to start. If you agree to get information on Dave and the churches, Didn't mention all this other crazy crap. I thought the dirty well water was killing me, giving me cancer or something. Because I had all those bruises, muscle pains, throwing up, almost passing out in a severe personal infection. I thought it was killing me. That's all I knew. I never even had my neighbors in my home. Never seen or talked to anybody. Okay? Is that I said, well, I can get you information. It comes with $5,000 a month. You have a life of peace as an informant. Nothing legally stated, dated against you again, and only for you, and only for you would we do this for. Always put it back as if we never happened. You can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case. That's why when you do a fingerprint background check, my fingerprints come up sealed. Okay? For you have a life of peace as an informant. Nothing legally stated, dated against you again. And only for you, and only for you would we ever do this for. We'll always put it back as if it never happened. You can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case. Okay? You'll have that money to live on. Admit to no wrongdoing, and I'll take care of everything in the end. But if you try to tell someone, unless you're crazy and no one will help you. 14th Amendment, you cannot withhold protection. You can't seize somebody's money, but due process of law. First Amendment, freedom of speech, it takes a judge. He's only a police officer. Like the prosecutor's office. He can't just go around making up his own rules. And the police know they can't go along with it. It takes a judge to take your freedom of speech away. Fourth Amendment. Nobody can be in your home but protected like cases with statements in a court order. Learn your rights. So shysters can't scam you. And just like a criminal attorney, law degree, that agent can't talk to you like that. He can't ask you to stay quiet. He's only hire a police officer. Just like the prosecutor's office. Just like the police I talked to out of this area. He can't ask you to stay quiet. I said, well, you confessed you told. Met with everyone. And then he sees up at that church. He said he can't tell any either. He can't bully you into false statements. And he can't bully you into staying quiet. So they get away with this. That's all he was doing, was bullying you. The only thing legal he did was list your informant with money immunity. And no sitting judge would sign an arrest warrant with stuff that some police officer just made up. That he doesn't have the authority to make up. He was just bullying you. Prosecutor's office, police, and criminal attorney. He stole my money on the first day. That's what the guy said, December 2nd, 22 at noon. Now, I want to know, how did drug dealer Pete, Pimp Pete, human trafficker Pete, know that John wouldn't arrest him? January 13th, 22. I met with my friend the week before the marshal showed up. He said, I race horses professionally. He said, on the racetrack, there's drug dealers. I went to one. They said 2.5 hours away. Although Ohio drug dealers know you didn't know that agent was in debt to that drug dealer. That's why all this happened. So, Agent John had to know Pete. That's a conflict of interest. You can't work a case. And apparently, where the cartel said he had trouble with prostitutes, and a prostitute is saying she got my money. Michelle Lauren. Little coincidence. And you do realize where you're giving her my $5,000 a month. And I've heard of prostitutes calling their Johns dates. You're not the only one she's dating for money. You seem like you're a walking AIDS commercial. But I want you to think how dangerous her and Pete are. They're harming people in their home, running scams on them. I never seen or talked to them. You know, about a month ago, before my one client had passed, I'd go up and buy her yogurt and baby food. She has total care. And puddings. And some lady's like, I heard they have her saying this. And the lady shushing her said, shh. They drugged her and told her to say it before. No one's allowed to say a word. Incompetency at this point is not tolerable. How many times do they tell me and tell all you people they drugged me and told me to say it? From the first month of the case, the little old white man came up. For every idle word you tell on us, I'll turn it on you. You try to leave Dave, I'll list you a child molester. I'm like, who are you? You know that bruise on your leg? Yeah, I use sodium pentothal. No, he stuck me with a date rape drug. If you pull the case, in August of 19, I started Ohio Catholic Bank up in Macedonia. I was going to be in the call center. I go upstairs, the manager's complaining. We got her drug test back. It was she was full of Valium and then about 3 or 4 other drugs. She has enough drugs in her system to knock a horse out. And she's up walking. They said we're not allowed to say a word to her. She's helping the FBI with a case. So their fake sodium pentothal, the drugs are missing. Valium alone in high doses will make you sleepwalk for 10 minutes. It's on Google without the other ones mixed in. They actually have the drugs. Okay? These people are trying to get my children arrested. I need to back off my family. I was at Shine Salon on Tuesday, got my hair done. Some ladies were out there talking. They all have her sons defending her. They're waiting for one of them to put their name on it, that they were in with Dave and those drug dealers having her heart, and then they're going to get arrested. That Michelle and Pete is trying to get my family arrested. You leave my family alone. Okay? Because like that little white man that showed up said he was working for Dave using sodium pentothal. You know what you told me? I never talked to him. He stabbed me in my sleep. Woke up with a bruise throwing up that morning. Something about wearing the wrong nightgown and bent over properly. The accidentally seen your butt in life of pain. What a stupid thing to tell people. I'm like, who are you? What did he confess to? He was drugging me up and telling me to say lies, and he worked for Dave. And this was their backup plan. Like the investigators, what was it, last January in Alliance on a Sunday night? Case first started, we found out Karen's ex-husband was keeping her so drugged up there. They were drug beating, raping her, and she wasn't realizing what was happening. They said it was some judge had messed up in the drug cartel up there. They wanted his connections and to stay out of it. We found out some guy just saying he's a judge was a pimp in the cartel. Told all of you. March 20th, 24. There were Riff Rapids laughing in Walmart 62 by the ladies' underwear aisle. They made up a retired Judge Pete. They made up everything on her to get away with this. And they're laughing at all these people. Again. Just like November 18th, 22, June 7th, 23, June 30th to July 4th of 23. I'm mocking everyone. And the FBI. How many times, even in the beginning of the case, they photoshopped all their lies, made everything up on me, and were drugging me and telling me to say stuff, and they were doing it before. And it was a cartel. So what was that agent laughing at? They admitted to framing me March 24th, 22. They March 1st to 3rd of 21 that they put two clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. Then what you're describing is showering? Ha 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 ha. She figured out what they did. May 12th, 22 at noon, and May 26th, 22 at noon. Of the shower scene done on purpose. In Navarre in February and March of 22, they said Pete ordered everything to be drug photoshopped and made up on me. I got a lot of drugs and told to say it. I have witnesses taped in my phone with their permission. Ones of them admitting. I also know of people, and the police already know I'm framed by the drug cartel. They even admitted to framing me. I don't think the Florida human traffickers are funny. Michelle and messed up with that drug cartel selling people. Running racketeering, sextortion schemes on them. They should have been arrested the first day. There was nothing to laugh at. And you dating my ex-husband's prostitute and stealing from the government for her. They would never condone that. And what would you go out and talk to her about? Who she's gonna scam next? You're not even allowed around criminals like that, except for investigations when you integrate them. Come on now. So they don't review and get out from you every undercover cop in the drug cartels. And then you risk their lives or any secrets that you have. Or they drug you up and tell you to say something stupid. And you thought you just had a hangover. So, but everybody knows who Pete and Michelle is. Bill from the Freemasons. Turn them in. The marshals have been here blowing the hell out of them. They got, 160 out of the Mansfield area. They found 35 kids, actually, where they took them a couple years ago. They still had them in Akron. People's daughters, their sons, their mothers, they disappeared. Their families would like them back. You know anybody messed up with Michelle's group? Turn them in. See, they've been looking to find out if any of law enforcement up there is messed up in the cartel. A sheriff in Ohio took $100,000 payoff. He's in jail in a different county. And other police that were taking payoffs from them are all in jail. They're going to want to know any law enforcement that's messed up in the cartel harming people. That sheriff's office is dirty. They got caught framing 2 guys that had baking soda on their back floor of their carpet because they had a water leak and the carpet smelled. Wrote it up for mouth, arrested them. They got an attorney send it off to the state. It's Armour Hammer baking soda. They falsified police evidence and reports and falsely charged people. They don't realize they're going to get prosecuted for that, right? There was a Mantua police officer. Now that's like 10-15 miles from where the sheriffs are. She had to know him, date one of them, old wife, or they had something against her. Because they should have nothing to do with her. She had one of the police dispatchers, which is another police officer, watch her child while she was working. They told her supervisor she left her child with a child molester, and it was a police officer. She got suspended. When they were both proven innocent, she got reinstated. She's suing them. That county's not going to think it's funny when they pay out millions and millions of dollars of restitution. So if there's a dirty cop up there that's part of the cartel running scams on them, give me a name. First and last. Make me a millionaire. See, April 28th, 24. I'm in Walmart on this store. A guy walks in on the phone. That agent did talk to her like that. And he did confess to telling on her. I listened to the recorded line. Okay? They need to do something about this. I go to the canned veggie aisle. Officer in uniform shows up. Karen, we all know nobody drugs anybody but the drug cartel. There's a drug cartel in your home before. We all know that guy told on you before. I want to find out how he found out. And he heard it. Go over and buy the lady's clothing in between the food aisle. There's a guy standing there with the Stark County Sheriff's made fun of some guy named Kurt for falling for this crap in 21. He tells everybody to stay out of it. Guys on the phone, Kurt, none of this is funny. They have these people admitting they made everything up on her. They have that they drugged everything and da-da-da-da-da. And they have that agent on a recorded line admitting he told on her and that he stole her money. None of this is funny. Go up front, Pam and her granddaughter. Uncle Dave said he had someone tape her before. What did they just say it was? The cartel, and it's all made up. Okay? We walk out laughing. People, I walk out and they all start laughing, the investigators. It took her long enough to confess. She was in it with Dave with those stocking tapes. Her family was linked to the follower ending. Now she's in it with Dave and those stocking tapes. Her kids better not verify anything on those tapes. The police already taped them all defending her, and that they didn't know. And they already taped these people that they photoshopped everything. Made everything up on her, and they had drugged everything and told her to say it. The police would have to arrest him for being part of this. Oh, everybody's scattered. They would. That's what they're trying to do. See, that's what those ladies were saying outside of Shine. They're waiting for one of our kids to say they were actually in it with Dave, trying to have her killed to cover it up. Dave fled the country forever. Told my son he'll never see him again. He realized he was going to go to jail.